Yeah, I mean, it's a great week. I thought we played really, really well on Saturday against Abilene. And Thursday night, give Tarleton a lot of credit because they played a phenomenal match and they made us, we had to work extremely hard to get that win. So, you got to take care of business at home, and I feel good that we did that. And now it's going to be real important that we take our game on the road because that's where we're going to be living life quite a bit lately.
Yeah, you mentioned 2 games at Utah, which we'll break down a little bit later. But then you got a road trip to Edinburgh, Southern Point, and then for some people they say it's another home game in Arlington. I'm not sure what your thoughts on that. But then you got UTA closing out that 4-game road stretch, especially with being at home for the past 4 games. What's your mindset going into a heavier road trip, especially finalizing out the final part of the regular season, trying to build that momentum for potential postseason play?
Yeah, we're really just continuing to do what we've been doing and trying to identify some key things each week that we can improve on. And the second we become complacent is when we're going to be in trouble. So for us, we've got to take our game on the road. We've got to keep those bullets firing from the service line because that just helps dumb down the opponent's offense if we can be super aggressive at the service line. And, that's what we did on Saturday and what we're going to need to continue to do moving forward. But just being disciplined as blockers, our offense is clicking very, very well right now. So just making sure from a blocking perspective, we're not having negative blocks. We're blocking enough balls, but we got to make sure we're not ending rallies with crazy touches off of our block. And that just comes down to keeping your hands and what you're doing there extremely disciplined and not trying to do too much. When we get into trouble during matches, it's usually because we're trying to do a little bit too much. So if we can minimize that, we'll be in good shape.
Leave it open to the local media and then the SFA media.
Yeah, Coach, any specific players, starting with this first upcoming game, that you got to look out for on their squad?
Utah Tech, they run a lot to the outside, so we're going to have to do a really good job stopping an outside attack, which really feeds back into that being disciplined blockers that I was just talking about. And, they've got a setter that's very active. She's going to throw a lot of balls over. She's going to do a lot to try to make us uncomfortable, and we have to worry about that second ball potentially coming over from her. So if she's out of system on the run away from the net, it's going to make her hard to do that. So all those things, I just mentioned with our service pressure and with our block are going to be super important against Utah Tech.
How you all doing health-wise and everything?
Yeah, we're as good as you can be right now. I think at this point in the season, everybody deals with those just aches and pains, and they spend a lot of time in the training room and a lot of time in recovery. But it's what Division I athletes do, and we'll make sure we're ready on game day.
Okay, so going back to this weekend, you talked about how the offense is clicking. We've got the dynamic duo, I like to call them, of Elon Bradley and Ty Joseph that are both really firing on all cylinders right now. Ty helped, I think she led the team in kills in both matches and hit 512 on the weekend.
Crazy.
So just speak to what you see from not only Ty, but the consistency of Elon.
Yeah, just that right side attack is going, it's operating at a pretty high clip right now. So it's going to be really important for us to keep those two going. And I tell you what is allowing them to continue going. One of our matches last week, our opponent, they didn't get going as much as normal. And our middles and our left side stepped up and had great matches. So that's really the key. It's not just the right side attack, but if it's there, they're doing a great job scoring. And when they're not scoring at quite a high clip, we've got other positions that are stepping up, and that's, it's what you want. You want to be able to get points from everywhere, but those two have been so consistent for us, scoring, blocking, just taking care of things over on the right side. So
in order to get those kills, you got to have good sets.
Yeah, absolutely.
From your setters. So Maddie Bork this weekend passed 2,000 career assists. Can you just speak to what you have seen from her in her 4 years that she's been here.
And I tell you what, she's done great things all 4 years, but she certainly saved the best for last. She's having a phenomenal senior season. 2,000 career assists is, that's not easy to do. And she's done it as a part of a 6-2 the majority of her career, not spending a lot of time in the front row. So being a setter 50% of the time and getting to 2,000 makes it even that much more impressive. But she's doing it all around right now. I mean, she's serving well. Told them all they're all going to get shoulder surgeries in the off season. She had a shoulder surgery, and we were concerned about her serve, and she's serving better than ever. So, yeah, I mean, she's doing some great stuff, and her and Jaden both are allowing the offense. If the offense is clicking at a high level, you've got to look at those setters because they're doing something right.
So, individually from a team perspective, just. I know it sounds, but collectively as a team,
okay,
you guys have racked up a lot of WAC top play nominees when it comes to just individual play. I think the one this week is the one-handed set from Jaden.
Oh, that was a phenomenal play, by the way. And Alon finishing it off made it that much better, but yeah.
Just collectively, I know you've seen a lot of volleyball when it comes to everything in perspective, but are we seeing some of the best volleyball that we've seen from the Ladyjacks at this point of the year, or are we still going to keep on getting better?
We're doing some really good things, but I still think there's more in the tank. What I still don't think we've seen is every person, every position at their absolute best on the same night. We've seen, half the team, and then we've seen this half of the team or this part. We've seen really good matches, but maybe one person didn't quite perform at the level we would like. But when all the pieces are bringing it together, that's pretty exciting to think that that's still out there.
Well, make sure you pack a jacket.
Yes.
And enjoy the views in Utah, and we'll talk to you when you get back.
Sounds good. We'll do that. Appreciate it.